Yo, and welcome back to Relearn Japanese, and you are here because you forgot your Japanese and need to learn it again. But anyway, guys, today we are going to be talking about comparisons and useful expressions part 2. So last time we talked about comparisons, this is better than this is the best, using, yori and hoga, whatever. But today we're going to be kind of stemming off that same yori and moving into two different other ways that you can use that expression to talk about dependencies. So, Relearn Japanese Part 2. Here we go. So today we will revisit an expression that stems from the yori particle we just learned last time, of course, and this time looks at dependency like we just said. So you can say ni yotte to express dependency on something. So just a quick little trivia thing for you to understand what this grammar means and where it actually comes from. And because what you'll usually learn in Japanese class is that it's just the hiragana. So for a lot of us visual learners, that's not enough for us to actually, grasp what it actually means. So using the kanji, of course, we all love kanji because it actually helps us understand the context of things. Remember, ancient Japanese people used kanji all the time and no hiragana at the time. So if they can make it work, we can. So yoru actually comes from yoru. So this yoru means to be based upon, to have a foothold on, to follow, therefore. And it's actually the same kanji you use for shoko. So shoko means evidence. But actually, when you type it into the automatic, thingy on your phone, you'll actually get this one, komaru. But komaru could also mean, to be due to or caused by, which is komaru or gain or whatever like that. And then we have to depend on or to turn on, to be based on, to come from. So when you write niyoruto or niyotte, and you actually go down the little kanji list when you're typing out in Japanese, you'll see these two kanjis. And this is where the grammar comes from and the way you're supposed to think about it. So, for example, we can use it to say something is dependent on. So, hito ni yotte, if I were to write the kanji there, ni yotte, hanashi ga chigau. So, depending on the person, right? Depending on, to turn on the person, to be based upon the story of the person, or to come from another person, to fulfill the person, to be based on a person, whatever word you need, the story is different, right? This one here, 日本人はお寿司が好きでしょ? Japanese people love sushi, right? まあね、人によると思うけど. So 人による. So of course you have the te form. So you wait, if you're going to make a compound sentence, 人によって, depending on the person, comma, talk about whatever you're going to say. The story is different. Apples are a favorite food or whatever. You can split the sentence up. If you're just trying to make a general, just one kind of clause statement, then you can be like, による, 何々人による. This to omou kedo is just something I added to be like, oh, I think, just so you're not sounding so objective. Because, of course, Japanese people don't want to be so direct when they're talking about things. They want to kind of skirt around the issues. But that is a different kind of story for another day. So you can just be like, hito ni yoru, or sushi ni yoru, or whatever, keitai ni yoru, or hon ni yoru. All right. So if you just want to end the conversation on that, you can just say that. But you could also, if you want to continue something, you'd be like, hon ni yotte naiyou ga chigaimasu. Depending on the book, the contents are different, right? So just simple te form stuff, compound sentences, or full stop statements. Now, we can add another particle here, to it. So it's not the same as this to omou kedo. This is a completely different phrase. This is a completely different set. So if this is a set, ni yoru to nani nani nani. So again, it's the same kanji. So ni yoru to, this to would be more like the quotation thing. So like, oh, he said something like this, to iimashita, right? So that's the same kind of particle from way before when we're talking about making direct quotations. That's basically what you can think of this to being, rather than, this one to omou kedo, which is actually still the same thing because you're still quotating your own thoughts. So I guess it would be the same. So again, imagine you have this kanji. Imagine you have this kanji when you're saying this here. So, 天気予報によると, depending on, to be based upon, to have a foothold on, blah, 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 of the weather forecast. I heard it's going to rain, right? So we're combining, two different grammars here. So this whole little box here is being, according to the weather forecast, 雨だ、そうだ. I heard it's gonna rain. 友達の話によると, okay, according to my friend's thing, あいつは彼女ができた. He made a friend. And this is kind of an indirect quote here, as you can see here. This becomes an indirect quote. So basically, you're combining the grammar that we just learned about having dependency, blah, 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 and then combining direct or indirect quotations with whatever the next statement is going to be. And that's basically it. That's basically it for today's little quick lesson. Something for you to power through to get you through the week and just kind of keep separate. Of course, if it wasn't enough and you want to, expand on your learning, it's available on my Patreon, patreon.com/maydaysan for $1 a month or more if you want to support the channel, for the quick quiz that will be able to, help you solidify what you learned, apply it, and kind of understand the logic behind things. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks so much for watching. And we'll see you guys next week when we talk about something new. Okay, see you guys next time.